Alright, it's day 180 of this ginger germination experiment. So as you can see, there's continued leaf curling, leaf edge yellowing / browning. The leaf edges are dying off, and for the longest time I couldn't figure out why, but today I finally have the answer. This is the prototype look of a terminal stage spider mite infestation. They do spin webs. They are kind of like spiders in that regard, but they are neither mites nor spiders. But they can spin webbings to protect themselves from predators and also release strands of silk from their silk glands to fly away like spiderlings and disperse to your nearby plants. Yesterday I had the idea of using a dilute solution of hydrogen peroxide. It ended up being around 0.115%. It was a 1 to 26 dilution. And I sprayed it all over the leaves from a spray bottle. It seems to have worked for my honeydew vines where the infestation is much less severe. And here you can see the underside of a leaf. So either these were dead from previous beta-cyfluthrin spraying or from the hydrogen peroxide, or both. I'll play around with the concentration a little bit, but for the time being we have a huge problem. So this is the state of the soil. I went on a Yellowstone vacation for 6 days. I didn't water, obviously, during that time, but the soil was more or less saturated, as I demonstrated with the previous emergences of springtails in the tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands or millions. This was denoted as plant number 3. It now has a 4th shoot system. There are sprouts coming up all over the place. If you look at this newest one, it's not doing too bad, but if you look closely, there's a lot of leaf edge dying and spider mites everywhere. This used to be plant number 1. Now it has 2 shoot systems. I'm not going to change when I'm naming these things, but it might get a little hard to track later. Here's a diseased leaf, and this is new. It's a new shoot system, so that's really bad news. They're mottled, they're curling, and I really gotta get on top of my game here with killing these spider mites before it's too late. This is plant 2, meaning it used to have 2 shoot systems. Now it has 5, so 3 new ones growing out fast, and only one of these has newly exposed leaves, so these can still be saved. Everything can be saved. I call this plant 4. It's in the middle. It's got a new shoot coming out there, and this more established one that was already there before I left for vacation. It's got a leaf that's being killed already. That one's sort of diseased too. And so that's a 4th one, that's a 5th one. There are 9 shoot systems now, 5 of which are new for plant number 4 in the center. It's all connected. And that's pretty remarkable. The fertilizer has paid off. Here's one of those large clear spray bottles that I like. I'm going to make a hydrogen peroxide solution up to the 25 with water and up to the 26 mark in ounces with a 3% hydrogen peroxide solution. So that equals 0.115%. It's very dilute. They actually recommend a 1 to 32 dilution, which is even more dilute. So I'm using distilled water. I don't want to leave a bunch of mineral spots on the leaves. And this is a 3% hydrogen peroxide solution. So the goal here is to have a dilute enough solution of hydrogen peroxide that can still kill insects but not kill your plants. Doesn't have to be super exact. Spider mites aren't insects and thus may be very resistant to various insecticides, but hydrogen peroxide will work against all living things. Alright, so there are things running around. And I don't think I see anything running around anymore. I'm trying to look real close. Over here. I think this dilute hydrogen peroxide solution is doing the trick. There's one that's still kind of struggling. I think it's not moving, I think that works. So let's just give everything a very good extermination effort. Well, it's just the moisture of doing this also helps out the ginger and reduce spider mite populations. I don't know why exactly that is, but that's what it's said to do. Alright, I'm filling up a 2-liter bottle, and I'm going to add some hydrogen peroxide to this. No very serious precise measurements. So we're going to add in some hydrogen peroxide. So I capped it. Probably isn't too much difference in concentration between this and, what I had before in the spray bottle. Alright, so that was just tap water. This is going to go in the root system, so I don't care about leaving water spots. And I'm just going to water and see if that solves some problems. It should oxygenate the roots and enable these plants to grow faster. But the main reason I'm doing this is to disinfect the soil and hopefully exterminate massive bug populations in there, maybe even springtails included. I don't really need them. So here come the springtails. You can actually hear the soil fizzle due to the presence of hydrogen peroxide. It does that everywhere with all the surfaces it contacts or substances. It's a strong oxidizing agent. So I've noticed that the springtail population isn't as big as it was before. That's probably because of my 6-day absence and lack of watering. Or maybe this hydrogen peroxide is killing the springtails. I really don't know for sure.